Hello, horror fans. It's me, Cass and
Kylee.
we are the Horrorcraft Podcast, and we have on our friend Tiki.
Hello,
Tiki.
what is up? How
Uh,
is it going?
we're doing great. So we are gonna terrify Tiki in this episode. We are putting him through the paces when it comes to Reddit, and we are actually doing Halloween Reddit stories. But if you have never heard an episode that Tiki has been on of our podcast, or any episode period, you would not know that Tiki is the brain behind Talking Tapes Media. And at the time that this episode comes out, the following day, the Halloween special will be out, which features Kylee and I, as well as some other creators. Go check out Tiki's Instagram. He's got some he did a poster. I mean, it's just all super, really fucking cool. So
he's doing shit that nobody else is doing. You need
really
to go
is.
check it out. Period.
Yeah.
I refuse to be a talking head on the internet. You know? Like, I'm not taking shots at anyone that does that. I just don't talk well enough to be like, this movie was super. So I make all my friends do the fancy talking and I do the fancy editing. But, yeah, tune in, man. Join in the live chat. Relive, like, your childhood through this is the point of it. Nostalgic nightmare. However you want to call it, Big Chuck and Little John, Svengoolie, Joe Bob Briggs, all mixed in with a really bad budget. Tune in. It's going to be fun. We got a bunch of cool people in there this year. And, yeah.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're showing House on Haunted Hill.
Yes, Vincent Price's 1959 classic, House on Haunted Hill. Some friends go in a house. Something about a bet. Trying to remember the synopsis right now, but you guys know it.
Yep.
It's old. You should have seen it by now.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and obviously I'm biased because I got to be part of the collective and I am part of the Talking Tapes family. But anybody who grew up like us, where video stores were like your just happy place, you have such a deep connection to horror, this is really a special for you. I will tell you, it is one of the things that I am probably the most proud of being a part of, other than Horrorcraft and the things that we do here, just because of actually getting that moment. Like, I was at Tiki's house a couple of months ago, and I got to see myself on a vintage TV that had a tape, and just part of me healed that day of getting to see that, because I remember me being at a video store holding a VHS tape being like, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and renting Ernest Scared Stupid like 27,000 times growing up and thinking that there was never going to be a more joyous moment.
The best Halloween movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Hubie's Halloween. No one gives Hubie's Halloween enough credit.
They don't give that movie enough credit. I fucking love that movie. I thought it was fucking great, and it does not get the respect that it deserves, period.
Give us a sequel to Hubie's Halloween. That's what we need. Every year, just make Adam Sandler be Hubie.
Yep.
I feel like that's a good place to kind of jump off, but please go watch it. Join the live chat and let us know what you think of it, and then go follow Tiki for all the cool, really amazing things that he does. If you're looking for somebody that kind of breaks the mold with everything and that really cares about the horror community, this is this person. I'm just telling you that from experience. He not only talks the talk, but he walks the walk. So please go watch it. Go watch some of the other ones as well. You can also check out our episode that we did with him about Hell House, which was fantastic. So I would highly recommend doing all of it, and go subscribe to his channel right away.
And I'll drop a little announcement on here. We are already in the works for the next midnight special, and I can drop the name on here. It's going to be called Public Access Panic. And
Ooh.
I
it's
like
going to be
that.
all public access horror things. So things you've never heard of that played real late on TV. So, that interests you. I know it's a weird concept. Check out the channel.
It's really not.
It's
It's
really
really
not.
not.
I feel like it's great. So please go check it out. But we're going to get started, and we're going to start with our intro that Tiki himself made. So
Yes.
we're going to go ahead and hit the music. Let's do this.
Welcome to the Horrorcraft Podcast.
All right, we are back. So thank you once again for making our
No
intro
problem.
and
Such
making
a
it
banger.
in. It really
banger.
is. It really
It
is.
is.
So, Tiki, do you frequent the halls of Reddit?
I am violently addicted to Reddit. It started with just trying to figure out how to do shit, and then I found out there's like crazy stories on there and like the videos they don't let you watch on Facebook anymore. Because like I'm a horrible when it comes to the internet. I grew up in the era of World Star Hip Hop. So there's just something in my brain that when I'm on the internet, I like to see people fist fight each other, and Reddit's the place to go for that. So
You can find that on Reddit. I mean, I'm not surprised, and now I found my next rabbit hole.
yeah,
I'm
knockout
trash.
compilations.
I'm proud of it.
Great.
Yeah, I think people are surprised when I say this, but Kylie can testify to this because I spent the night at her house. I do indeed fall asleep to Reddit stories.
I walked out to go to the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, that's her Reddit stories, but it's fucking weird and creepy, and it's dark.
I mean, the funniest
I'm just
thing,
trying to pee, bruh.
I feel like the funniest thing is they aren't like creepy ones either, or like spooky ones. It's just like, am I the asshole, or like cheating ones or something like that. I have very like specific ones that I can fall asleep to. There are a bunch of them that they just like wake me the fuck up. Like you'll be 2 seconds in and I'll be like asleep, and then all of a sudden it'll like change the volume, and the ADHD in me just cannot do it. So
Well, I kind of now I have been hyper fixated on watching police body cam footage of horrific crimes. There's something wrong with me.
No,
But
I
it
have the
makes
same
me
exact
sleepy.
problem.
Bro, this one I watched the other night, it was fucked. What it anticipated, I was not expecting. Pretty much a woman got pulled over, something with her tags was sketchy. They were gonna like impound her car, and she was like living in her car with her kids. And she starts they open the trunk and they smell something fucking terrible. And she's like, oh, it's dirty clothes. They've been in there for months. It's dirty blankets, blah, 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 blah. And it's like bound in fucking trash bags. I'm like, there's a body. There's a body. And I was not expecting what it was. It was 2 kids.
Jesus.
Bro, I got fucking like goosebumps. And there are a lot. I feel like I'm desensitized a lot to certain things just because of trauma in my life, especially like when my mom passed. I'm going to get a little vulnerable. She was there for about 3 or 4 days. And so that there, decomposition, things like that. I did not see her, but there was just remains going and cleaning up her apartment and stuff. And there's just not really a whole lot that phases me. I watch a lot of scary shit. There's a lot of fucked up shit on the internet, but that fucking knocked the breath out of me. And the cops' reactions, and it was wild and horrific. But like I said, I'm I'm trash.
I watch
No.
the same ones where it like starts. It's like Sharonville, Ohio. I watch the
Yeah.
same shit. Takes you to the interrogation room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem.
I think the creators of it's Explore Us. Like you see the videos a lot on
Yep.
Facebook, and like they got like the wolf logo that's like floating around on the screen the whole time and shit. And I don't know, because I love true crime stuff, and I just think that is more authentic and getting to the truth more than some of like the true crime stuff that they put out on these streaming services sometimes.
Yeah, I do. I understand that though, because like Tiki will understand this reference, but like more recently, I I think a thing that I talk about here and there, but I think people are still surprised to learn is that I like abandoned theme park things. For some reason, there's just part of my brain growing up at this part of Ohio that it's just like I went down a rabbit hole, like a 3-hour rabbit hole the other day.
Shout out to Exploring with Josh.
Yes.
Exploring with Josh is the man. I'm Steve Ronan. I watch all those too.
Oh yeah,
I'm chronically on YouTube.
Oh, his one with where he went to Nara, a Dreamland before they tore it down. That was the wildest shit. But Giago Lake, like how long that stood there, like I went down a 3-hour rabbit hole the other day where they had like different videos that showed like over time, like them removing different parts, but then different parts being uncovered because of like the growth and everything. Like it was crazy. And I think it was more crazy because like I was at Giago Lake before it closed down. So like you see that and you're like, I was there like in 90 something.
Yeah.
Like it is a weird thing, but yeah, Reddit does seem to be the place where you can get a lot of deeper. There's one recently, there's a podcast. It's Heart Starts Pounding. And I found out about it because I like Two Hot Takes, and Morgan Asher, who does Two Hot Takes, does a podcast with her about true crime. And there is like a Close Encounters like subreddit here on YouTube, like on a Reddit that I did not know about. There were some stories on there that were like, man, you were like 2 seconds away from being a murder victim. Like just the things that people like almost come across is crazy. Like it freaks me out. So
I feel like people go to Reddit and just completely air all their dirty laundry the fuck out. Like no shame. No shame.
Yeah, the poop story that we had more recently, the oh my gosh, what is the other one that I'm thinking about? We've had some weird ones. Alex,
the sexual ghost, the daughter-in-law who was offended by the father-in-law humping the floor.
Oh my gosh, the butter. We never got answers about the butter.
Yeah, I really would like to know what that man was doing with the butter. I mean, I can imagine a lot of things, but like I don't want to be left up to interpretation. I need answers.
Was there someone jacking it with butter?
No, they were taking it into the bathroom and a whole stick of butter was disappearing. And the person on Reddit was not, they were like, I can't say what they were doing. Like it absolutely is vile and it makes me disgusted to even say it.
I mean,
I used to have
go ahead.
I used to have a roommate and we had avocado oil in our kitchen and I found it in the bathroom like 4 different times. And I asked him, I was like, dude, is this like a health thing? Like, what are you doing with this avocado oil? And him, out of pure embarrassment, just told the truth. And he's like, I'm using it to, spank the weasel. And I was like, brother, don't touch the avocado oil. God, that is the most aerosol can you're taking in there. Pre-treating the avocado. That's insane.
It's not even like in like super liquid form. It was like spray avocado.
No, it was the spray kind. A couple times on his Jimmy and going at it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Now I need to find a subreddit of what strange things men use because, oh God, thanks a lot, Tiki.
I would have never thought to use the avocado oil. We own lotion.
It was less expensive too. Like
Yeah.
avocados are expensive.
The worst part is you just
Yeah.
leave it in there.
And then like touching it after.
Yeah.
Yeah, living with men sucks.
Living
Foul
with women's
creatures.
fucking terrible too, bro. They're just as raunchy.
Oh, I know. I used to live with a bunch of hillbilly women. It was a great time.
Well, now that Kylie is permanently haunted and she's going to be checking that subreddit to list off the things that she needs to talk to our children about.
Listen, I don't want to talk to my kids about that yet, bro. And that's not a mom talk. That's a dad talk when the time comes.
Yeah. I had a close encounter this week where I thought that I was talking privately with Jim and I, and Braden overheard it, and he was like, "Mom, why are you saying that?" I'm like, "Saying what?" He was like, "You're talking about a lady part," and I was like, "That was a conversation between me and your dad." He was like, "No conversation in this household is private," and I'm like,
"Ooh."
I'm like, "Oh shit. We have entered the danger zone." Like, I am not prepared. Like, there have been a lot of like, okay, he's gonna be 13 soon. That was like, let's get ready to rumble. Like, I just saw the flash in his. I'm like, damn, I'm not prepared. So
Godspeed.
Yeah, I know, right? So if you see me crying on a corner in the internet, just mind your business.
It lasts forever too. I was 13 years old till I was 25. No.
I mean, I believe that. That's when your brain's fully developed.
Yeah, right. All right. We're going to go ahead and start with Kylie.
Okay, this is from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, which I rather enjoy. Cass's is best of Redditor updates. Mine's is Am I the Asshole? Usually they are. And I digress. This is from you, Frosty Connections 344. That's weird. It sounds like a Coke dealer. Anywho, am I the asshole for calling the police on my neighbors and calling her and her husband pedos at their Halloween? Yes, it is spelled correctly, party. My husband, 39 male, and I, 35 female, moved to this country when we first got married due to his work. I'm imagining he's like in the military. We had our first child, female 6, here. He was then moved to Germany where our other two, 4-year-old male, 3-year-old female were born. His company decided to move him here again, but to the opposite side of the country to where we lived the last time after we had our 4th female 5 months. So needless to say, we know the culture despite not being native. Our daughter started school this August for the first time, and a lot of her classmates live in the same area we do. One of the boys in her class lives at the end of the road behind us. When we first moved into the neighborhood back in May, we were welcomed by a few of our close neighbors and this boy's mother. Let's call her Astrid. She took a shine to my baby, but most people fuss over babies, so I didn't think much of it. That same day, she told me of how she had lost 2 baby girls and how lucky I was to have so many girls, and she only had 3 boys. The day after she came with her husband, let's call him Morton, and he too wanted to pick up the baby and paid her a lot of compliments until he met our oldest daughter and made a remark which I didn't think much of at the time. He said my daughter and his son could easily pass for twins as they are in the same class and they look alike. They don't. My daughter is super blonde with gray eyes, and their son has dark blondish hair with hazel eyes. So I corrected him. He feigned offense and said what he meant was that she could pass for his daughter, the baby too. Again, I corrected them that this was his light brown haired and hazel eyes. Neither of my girls could. He once again insisted and said I meant our features, not the coloring. Then he laughed it off and said he was just joking. They then invited us to go out for drinks, but we declined as neither one of us drinks and we don't like to be too friendly with neighbors. Same. During the summer, when we bumped into them at the local store a few times, Morton and Astrid would call her Julette's Gerune, something German, and sing a song from a famous movie here. After a few times, I told them to knock it off as it was no longer funny. Since May and up until a week ago, they have tried to invite us to many get-togethers, which I found strange as they hardly ever invite the neighbors that they have known for longer than us. Morton and Astrid would quite often talk to my daughter on her way back to school as she passes their house on the way home, and she said that it bothers her as they have both tried to pick her up and Astrid has tried a few times to touch her hair. When my husband confronted them about it, they said it's just a culture here. It's not. The picking up and touching her hair stopped after that. At the beginning of October, they wanted us to help them host a Halloween party at the end of October and wanted us to meet them at their house so we could coordinate the children's costumes, especially the twins. We declined again as we don't celebrate Halloween. They tried to convince us otherwise and were very pushy. Had their son knock on our door a few times to play with his twin after school. Knocking on doors to play with other children is normal, and most children roam out and about as it is a safe neighborhood and country, so that part was never suspicious to me. However, after the umpteenth time of calling my daughter one of his twins, I put my foot down and said he needed to stop joking about it as it is not funny anymore. My husband goes offshore at times due to his work, and it has been me and the children since mid-October. My daughter's teacher also lives in the neighborhood, and she is a childhood friend of Astrid. She was present in the park by our house when Astrid came up to me and handed me 3 costumes, one for each of my girls. She said, as we don't celebrate Halloween, her and her husband had decided to host a Halloween party instead and wanted my girls to wear these. I was shocked, but told her no, it would not happen. The teacher tried to convince me that this would be a nice way of meeting others' families and it would be fun for our children. Astrid said she had spent a lot of money on adjusting the costumes and had found the right hairstyle for my daughter to go as Gretel and her son to be Hans. I told her no one made her spend the money, as I had made it very clear that none of my children would be going. Right in front of me, she took the hairband off my daughter's hair and tried to put it on that she had brought for the costume. I told her to stop and started walking off. She tried to apologize and said, relax. We are neighbors and friends. Her teacher followed me and said not to be uptight and that Astrid meant no harm. She just likes girls. On Monday, my daughter came home with a different hairstyle and accessories to what I had sent her off with. I asked her how she got them. She said her teacher had done her hair during lunch. I asked her if she had played rough, so her hair needed to be fixed. She said no. Yesterday morning, I spoke to her teacher, and she confirmed that it was indeed her who had fixed her hair and that it was Astrid who bought the stuff. I asked her why she would go against my wishes, to which she said it was only hair stuff and Astrid didn't want to throw it away as she had spent money on it. She thought with 3 daughters, I would appreciate help with some free accessories. She also said that I had not made it explicitly clear not to fix my daughter's hair after telling her to never do it again and return the stuff. In the evening, the neighborhood children went trick-or-treating. Those participating were informed it would last from 6 to 8. I let my daughter go off and play with one of the other girls who wasn't trick-or-treating. At about 7, I couldn't hear them, so I went outside to check, and they were not there. I asked one of the other children if they had seen her, and they said Morton and Astrid had collected her in their car, and her friend had gone home. I asked next door to watch my other 2 while I ran with the baby to their place. When I arrived, they were having a party in the garden, and my daughter was there. She had her hair done and had a candy bag. She was also wearing the costume. So in my anger, I called the police before speaking to anyone, and once I got off the call, I called both of them pedos and everything under the sun in multiple languages. When the police arrived, I spoke to them and we left. Today at school, her teacher was very short with me and said there was no need for that as Morton volunteers for the children's football club. Having a police report filed on him was not the wisest of choices. She explained that if I wasn't happy, I should have asked for a mediation appointment at the school instead of embarrassing Astrid and Morton in front of everyone. She also mentioned that it was her who helped my daughter change into the costume, and it is not unusual for teachers to help their students change here. That is partially true for this country. She said Astrid has been grieving, and her behavior is normal for someone who lost so many children, one after the other, and not to make it harder on her, as people have gossiped quite a bit about it. She said they didn't know they had crossed the line and it wouldn't happen again, so just drop the complaint at the police. On Friday, I have to make a full statement at the police station. She wants me to cancel it as Astrid and Morton are not bad people, and she thinks I should be glad someone else thinks this highly of my daughter. She wasn't harmed, and she sees no reason for me being angry as the children all play in each other's garden anyway. She said not to blow things out of proportion, as at no point was my daughter alone with Morton. Am I the asshole for calling the police instead of mediation at the school as the first step, because it was from a place of love and grief that they did this?
Okay, well, no, you are not the asshole. What the fuck, man?
It's giving the movie Speak No Evil, but not as intense.
It's just a very, I understand that maybe they've lost children. Get it that maybe they would, because, similarly, just for reference, this is a weird thing to talk about, but Braden, at one point in time, we were at a public event, and this woman came up to me, and so we were at this event. This lady kept looking at Braden. Obviously, you're aware, I gotta watch my kid. This lady then comes up to me and says, "Hey, I'm sorry that I was staring, but your son looks like my son, and my son just died a couple of years ago. He killed himself. And that's why my husband and I are looking at him, because he looks a lot like our son, and he reminds us we've kind of seen you." So they were very sweet and nice about it. It was nothing weird, and they were telling us different things, and Braden's like, "Oh, I'm sorry your son went to heaven," and just was being very cute about it. But they never gave me a weird ill intention kind of it was more or less you could understand why they would be grieving, because it's a lot to lose a child anyways, but then a child that dies from suicide, that's a lot. And it was a very young, I think their son was 12 or 13. And so, but having somebody all of that was already weird enough. But excuse me, your child was playing with somebody else. They picked your child up from that. Yeah, put him in a car. And then,
in that immediate moment, I would have become an Inglorious Bastards character. I'd have been hunting Germans down through their own country.
Yep.
It wouldn't have been good.
Yep. That just crosses so many lines. There are people that have kidnapped children for this exact reason. Think of the movie Trapped. That's the name, right? With Charlize Theron and Kevin Bacon. They kidnapped a child that was the doctors that was treating their daughter, blah, 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 blah. But there's been people that actually have done that before.
Yeah, there's true crimes. I'm trying to think of the one, but the woman was pregnant and she was selling stuff on Marketplace.
Yes.
And a lady responded to it, and it was a lady that was pretending she had lost her baby and she needed to get a baby. So she then made her forced her way into the house, almost killed the woman. thankfully her and the baby both survive. Like, but there are a lot of different instances where that's happened, where somebody's pregnant, they don't have the baby, but in their psychosis and different things like that, it does happen. And so I'm sorry.
Grief is a motherfucker, and it will make you do some things, but that's just not okay. And for the teacher to be like,
oh, the teacher could get it.
No.
Me as a parent, too, I don't even like people in the grocery store talking to my kids.
Yeah.
You have to be 85 plus to smile and wave at my baby. It's the only way I'm accepting it. Don't fucking talk to my kids. I had a situation, because I have my oldest is he has bad ADHD. He's a handful, so usually when I take him into a store, he's a monster. But we just moved from the hood into one of the nicest neighborhoods in Cleveland. And when we got over here, we're in the Giant Eagle, and the cashier looked at me. She's like, "Control your kid." And I swear to God, I blacked out because he wasn't even he was being good for once. We were in the store, and he was doing nothing. And I remember looking at him, and I'm standing there my son's he already knows I'm about to go off, and I just was like, "Lady, you could suck my dick." And she's like, "Are you gonna say that in front of your kid?" I was like, "He'll say it to you too." Mind your own fucking business. And then that's the first time I got kicked out of that Giant Eagle. But yeah, don't say shit to people's kids. I don't care if it's nice. Just don't talk to them.
I had a situation like that at the grocery store with Zane. Zane was just vocally stimming. He wasn't doing anything. We were at self-checkout, and my mom had him, and they were just kind of, I'm just checking shit out. And this man said, "You need to control your kid." And I didn't hear it, but my mom was like, "Did you hear that?" And we had a similar situation with my little sister growing up. And this man said to my mother, "You need to spank her." And it was, I still remember it to this day. And it was just like crazy as an adult having a child on the spectrum and experiencing that. And when she told me, I took off running. Luckily, I didn't find the man, but I probably would have. I probably would have went to jail.
I go by the motto that I'm raising bullies. I think I'm probably one of the only people in America that say that. But if you think I talk a lot of shit, just know my kids will do it also because I've raised them to be that way. I have the least wantable kids that you're gonna kidnap because they're not gonna stop talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I have no sympathy for anybody who rubs Brayden the wrong way because you invited it. Because for the most part, my kid, he's a kid, and certain things happen, but for the most part, I have a good kid. So if he's saying something to you, trust and believe you are getting the mini version. Do not summon the blueprint because I don't play when it comes to my
kid. It takes Brayden a lot to get to a certain point. So when he is popping off at you, you probably deserve
it. Yeah, you really do, because Brayden just he just wants to chill and do his own thing, and he will be very he's trying to be very understanding, but it's just I remember when he first got diagnosed, we had to have him in the little harness that was with the leash where we would have to go in the grocery store. And I remember this lady vividly was she's got her kid on a leash like a fucking zoo, and screaming in my Walmart, and that's child abuse, and are you going to call the cops on that? And I remember just we left because I was crying because we're talking freshly diagnosed, we were under maybe it was 2 months after Brayden got diagnosed, and I'm you don't understand, I cannot he's gonna leave. We've had instances with him running out of the store. So I was leaving, this Walmart employee stopped me and she said, "Don't worry." Next thing I know, this lady is basically getting kicked out of the Walmart for causing a whole scene. And they were this one woman, she was very, and I would say that's a very uncommon situation, but they were just "Don't let her get you out of the store." we've seen you in here before, you're trying to, and I was just like, thank you. But you're vulnerable in that moment. So to me, it's just wild that the teacher thought that that was okay. Like, it's not your kid. You might be the teacher, but they're not their parent. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when do we get to the line of other people's comforts versus our comfort? That is crossing a very clear boundary. And I just think when it comes to kids, we should not be playing with shit like that. Like, kids are not meant to be objects to placate somebody's grief, especially
And
somebody you don't even know.
it's a sign for the parents too. If the first thing rubs you wrong, be an asshole about it. You have to set a standard to know that you don't fuck with my kids in a certain way. And you can't be like, oh, they're grieving. I'd be like, yeah, they're grieving, but like, fuck off a little bit,
Don't touch my kid.
Go adopt
there's
one.
room. There's room to be empathetic, sympathetic, understanding, but like there's lines. There's lines, and
especially
they don't
when
need to be crossed.
You're taking it upon yourself to change my child's hairstyle, to put them in different clothing. Like, those are just very clear, like, no. Like, I wouldn't even, there are very few people that I would even let get near my child like that. So I just, no. So don't do that this Halloween. Please don't. So on to mine. If you have grown up in a Midwest town, you would probably kind of get the reference, but they do explain this. So this is from Creepy Encounters. The username is Apprehensive Dig 878. Rolling yards on Halloween almost got us killed. With Halloween coming up, I was reminded of this encounter, which still haunts me to this day. This post is long, but I think it goes to show how seemingly fun and innocent decisions made when you're a kid can put you in danger. This happened when I was a freshman in high school on Halloween night. My friends and I were quite at the point in high school where we would have any sort of Halloween party to go to, and we were too cool to go trick-or-treating, of course, which, lame thing to say, by the way. You're never too cool to go trick-or-treating. We were a tight-knit group of 5 girls. We had grown up together since we were babies, and we lived in a rural town outside of city limits. To set the scene, this is a very remote, woodsy area. One of my friends, let's call her T, her parents raised chickens and had about 50 acres filled with chicken houses. Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of chickens.
Yeah, that's a lot of chickens. Which we would
Look at all those chickens.
50 acres. Like, that's a lot.
That's so many fucking chickens.
Which we would explore on her 4-wheeler after school. Yeah, you would have to have a 4-wheeler to explore 50 acres.
Yeah.
The build up to this night was filled with adrenaline and methodical planning. In our small town, one of the more thrill-seeking activities to do was what we call rolling yards. What is rolling yards, you might say? If you're not from a southern town or rural area, this is basically throwing rolls of toilet paper up into the trees so that streams of toilet paper hang down. Classic prank, rolling yards.
I've never heard it called that.
I've never
heard it called that. We called it TPing, but
TP.
Yeah.
Had a crush on a guy from class, rolling yards. Girl drama revenge, rolling yards. It's hard to explain that kind of adrenaline that you get sneaking down a rural 2-lane road in pitch black, turning down a long gravel driveway, threatening the group's lives if they make a sound. If you get caught, your parents find out, and maybe worse, you're stuck up cleaning the mess the next day. So my friends and I had decided that 2 weeks prior to this night, we were going to go on a Halloween rampage. And specifically, we were going to go to roll the creepy house down the rural road my friend T lived on. This house had been a big scare story between my friends and I for years. We would go on afternoon walks after school and pass by it often. No one came in or out of the house, But T's parents told us that if a man lived there, that he was a bit of a creep. She gave us strict warning to stay away from the area. Looking back, T's mom worked in law enforcement, and she probably had much more sinister reasons for us to stay away than she told us at the time, of course. The night would go on as such. T's older sister, B, who was 17 at the time, would drive us to the local Walmart after T's mom and dad went to bed. B was the kind of cool older sister who was in on our shenanigans and thought it was fun to chaperone us when we were doing crazy things. All of us loaded in to the back seat of B's car, piling into each other's lap, blaring our favorite 2000s hip-hop songs, and flying down the 2-lane curvy road. A scary thought in itself at this point in my life, but nothing happened, thank the Lord. We parked in a near empty parking lot of the store around 11:30 p.m. Just for reference, this is before Walmart went to not being 24-hour, obviously.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
I miss it so much.
And made our way towards the toilet paper aisle. Hyped up on pure adrenaline, we filled the shopping cart completely full of the 99-cent rolls of toilet paper. Snickering to ourselves as the clerk eyed us suspiciously while checking us out, we ran giddy back to B's car, popped the trunk, and threw the loads of toilet paper into the trunk. On the way back towards T's house, out of the city limits, we turned down the music to discuss the play-by-play of the attack. B would park down a dirt road that led to some cow pastures about a mile from the man's, we'll call him Mr. S's driveway, to wait on us. The 5 of us would split into teams, walking along the edge of the woods by the road quietly, in the event that a car would pass, so that way we could drop to the ground and hide. We filled our arms full of toilet paper, headed towards the long gravel driveway of Mr. S. The adrenaline practically beating out of my eardrums, the crickets in the background screeching in synchrony. We made it about 10 yards from the entrance of the driveway and unloaded the toilet paper we had carried, then quietly made our way back toward B's trunk to get the next load of toilet paper. Once all the toilet paper was piled into our checkpoint location at the edge of the woods, we each grabbed 4 rolls and went into the woods along each side of the gravel driveway to creep towards the house, all whispering to each other to shut up, shh, dude, shut up, we're going to get caught if you don't stop, etc. We finally see the faint light coming from the side of the house by Mr. S's garage, and it was the most terrified I'd ever been. Not only was the house 1,000% creepier in this moment when we walked past it during the day, but the thought of getting caught by the man we were specifically told to stay away from was nauseating. T, the bravest and most rambunctious of the bunch, decided to make a beeline towards the garage while walking through the edge of the woods. We watched her in pure shock. She stood near the woods, peeking out, motioned for us to make our move, confirming that no lights in the house were on, and Mr. S was like 99% likely asleep inside. I stood frozen, scared I would pee my pants if I moved, but I was ushered along by the other girls, who pointed to a tall oak tree at the front of Mr. S's house, which was the worst location imaginable. I decided my teammates were worth it, and I ripped open a pack of toilet paper and hurled it up towards the sky, towards the highest branch on the tree, watching the stream of white paper fly down and catch the wind. Soon streams of white were falling out of every tree surrounding the house, and we were all getting very cocky, even more fearless the longer we attacked. All of a sudden, my friend T stopped dead in her tracks and made a loud whoosh noise. I stopped hiding behind a tree, my heart literally in my throat, as now I saw what it looked like, lights turning on from inside the house out of the corner of my eye. T then yelled, "Run!" We dropped our remaining rolls of toilet paper and began running in the pitch black dark into the woods. Another girl in the group tripped and fell on a branch behind me. I turned to help her, and that's when I heard it. Several gunshots rang loudly from near the house, and Mr. S was yelling manically into the woods, "You assholes think you're funny? Not so funny when I find you. We kept running, all crying, wheezing from the adrenaline and speed in the night, towards the entrance of the driveway. When we were about to reach the entrance, we heard something even worse than gunshots. The sound of a diesel truck engine coming down the gravel driveway. Slowly. We quickly went as deep into the woods as we could without notifying him we were hiding, and stood silently with our heads over our hands over our mouths as not to make a noise. Mr. S stopped his truck about 30 yards away, turned off his engine. It was totally silent. I could see him from where I stood. He had a shotgun over his shoulder as he walked towards the opposite of the driveway, clearly looking and listening intently. In that moment, I truly thought we were going to be found and killed. No one except for B knew where we were. All of our parents were asleep. She was a mile down the road, oblivious in her car. I was trying desperately not to cry and sniffle in silence when I saw Mr. S's shadow, raising his shotgun into the air and firing around. I began to feel faint, truly thinking I was about to pass out from fear when I see car lights just up the road from the driveway. Panicking, I wondered if the lights would illuminate us in the woods and give us away. But the car seemed to slow down, and I realized it was B. B rolled down her window, was talking loudly from her open car window, giving what I was assuming the address to the police, the address of Mr. S's house. This made him angry, and he yelled, ran towards her car for a moment, then backed away, cursing loudly and waving his gun in the air. As soon as Mr. S began driving his truck back down the driveway towards his house, we sprinted full speed towards B's car and got in. We were crying hysterically, unable to speak, sweat pouring down us. No one said a word. We cried all the way back to T's house, showered, and I could hear sniffles and crying all throughout the night into the morning. No one said a word about it to T or B's parents. No one even spoke about it amongst each other for years. We never went rolling again, to say the least. What had begun as a childish prank turned into one of the most horrifying experiences of my teenage years. Because we lived in the middle of the nowhere and we had technically been vandalizing someone's front yard, B told us about a week later that she had faked the call with 911. It's still shocking to think about. All I can say is we got lucky that night. Some angel somewhere was watching out for us. Looking back, B should have actually called 911, and we were naive kids who were more afraid of getting in trouble than realizing how at risk we were of being hurt or killed. Mr. S, I don't know why you became so angry and violent seeing toilet paper in your trees, but I hope I never see you again.
Wimps.
I mean, I have a only one TPing a house story, and we were purchasing the toilet paper and hiding in these little wood areas next to this gas station to do it, and it was right by like the sheriff's office headquarters, and they saw us, but I fucking booked it and took off running from the cops, and I had to go to my friend's house and wake up her dad because the cops got called, but they never found me. They never knew I was a part of.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't say that was the last time I ever ran from the cops, but
yeah, the town I grew up in, everyone fucked with each other. So like a big thing in my town was forking, if you know what that is. You buy a bunch, like 200 plastic forks and shove them in someone's front yard as many as you can. But one year when Barack Obama was running for president against Mitt Romney, I think that's who it was, one of those guys.
Yeah.
All I know is I went around and we stole every Mitt Romney sign in my little 5-mile town. And we found one guy with an Obama sign in his yard. So we thought it'd be funny to take like the nearly 90 political signs we had shoved in our buddy's LeSabre all over this guy's front yard who lived across the street from our buddy, so we could sit on his sun porch and watch in the morning. But a fucking tropical storm came through, So all of a sudden we're sitting on the porch and we're watching these Mitt Romney signs yank out of this guy's front yard, blow down the street at like 90 miles an hour. Our buddy's dad woke up and he's like, busts down into his basement and looks at us. He's like, "Wake up, you fuckers!" His dad, and we're like, "What?" He goes, "There's no reason. There's 80 Mitt Romney streets and 80 Mitt Romney signs in the street outside our house, and you guys had no fucking part in it." And we were like, "All right, yeah, that was us."
Oh my gosh, there was
So I think I remember like that huge freaking like storm. Like
Yes.
it was insane.
Oh yeah, it was. The power was out for like 2 days, but it was like literally immediately after we put him in, 10 minutes in, we're sitting on the screen porch, and all of a sudden it's just like a looked like a Sharknado, but a Mitt Romney signs.
Forking was a big thing. They had a prank war in my neighborhood, and I was over 18 at the time, and we thought, okay, we're gonna step this up, and we bought a shit ton of condoms and got string, and there were one neighbor that had a bunch of trees in front. We hung the condoms filled with lube on the tree, and it was all over. And then my friend decided it would be a great idea to smear lube all over our neighbor's car and write Michigan sucks on it. Because, of course, it's like Ohio-Michigan rivalry. Tell me why it froze the next morning, and that froze onto that person's car. Like, it iced over.
Fucking pissed.
I think just a lot of this is like just a Midwest upbringing, though, because like in the winter, and I still do it. My wife yells at me when it snows. I'm out there drawing dicks on every car I can get my hands on. Like in the gas stations, where everywhere, I'm putting dicks on everything.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a weird Midwest thing where it's like, all right, there's nothing else to do. I'm going to fuck with someone. Even if I don't get the reaction, I like to know someone has to look at this dick on their car when they come. It might be a man thing also, though.
Yeah, or the donut.
Well, the way we all reacted about them going on that late night Walmart trip, we all were just like, oh, the nostalgia. Good times, because that used to be
Walmart prank that we used to do when I was a teenager was push the cart back to the weight aisle, and you'd start loading all the weights into the shopping cart until it went and bend to the ground. Can't do that in Walmart during the day. It has to be at 3 a.m. God's taking all the good things from us.
Yeah, it definitely, because I remember Walmart and Steak and Shake being the only thing open.
Walmart and Steak and Shake. Yep.
After midnight.
And Denny's.
We didn't have a Denny's, but we did. Or you could go by the lake at night. That was like the big thing. And yeah, I don't know. I did one time, my friend and I went there and we were literally just looking at, but it's like a thing where you go by the water, make out point, whatever. Cops would come. These cops thought that my friend and I were making out in her car, when really it was just two plus-sized individuals who were breathing too hard in the winter. And I'm like, no. And my what made it even worse is the day after, my mom was like, do you think you might be into women? I'm like, why? She was like, because at the age you're at, you spend a lot of time with your friend. And if she's more than a friend, it's okay. And I'm like, did they know that we got pulled over? Like the cops were at her window. So it is very funny now that like kids don't get that experience of like.
Well, I don't think like Dakota was having a conversation with our family friend's son Jordan. Because my husband works for our landlord and like fixes his properties, and I'm not even going to get into all of that right now. That's a whole different day, a different story. But he was over at our friend Jen's house doing some work on her house, and Jordan came running up with the neighborhood kid. They were playing Ding Dong Ditch, And like where I live, like it's country. Like everybody has guns. They sell ammo at the Briar Patch, the gas station, like down the road. Like you can't do a lot of the things that like we used to do as kids anymore.
It's the ring doorbells. It's what ruined it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm very grateful we did not have those when I was a teenager.
I was torturing my whole neighborhood. I went to the public library in my hometown for the first time in years today, and I got lifetime banned there when I was like 14. I tried to go back in at like 21, and they wouldn't let me in. So this is my first time now in 15 years I was able to go in the library and like not get kicked out. And I swear to God, I was walking through a police station. I was turning my head every way. I don't know if they still work here, but I was not a good 15-year-old in this place or to this neighborhood.
Yeah, you just can't. People don't have the same intentions. So my senior year, I got a lot of hate because I went to a very preppy, very like popular, faculty like version of my hometown school. And senior year, a bunch of football players decided to go with a paintball gun into my neighborhood and paintball people's houses. Do you want to guess whose father was the one that stopped all that fun? My dad literally was on the porch, saw them, got his shotgun, wasn't loaded, but literally took his gun out. They came around the corner. My dad's there with a shotgun. These kids, big, beefy, like football guys, thought they were going to piss their pants. They got into a lot of trouble, and it was because of my dad. So I got known as the girl with the crazy dad. That's probably one of the few times I actually liked my dad. I'm just going to say that.
But to be fair, like paintball guns, like they're kind of dangerous, and like to be doing it to people's houses, like that paint's not really that easy to get off.
Well,
this. I'm getting old. That's what
it is.
Well, and
I'm getting old.
To be fair, we grew up in the era with senior pranks, and just before that, there had been some senior pranks going on, and one of them was a whole entire neighborhood having their mailboxes like smashed to the shit.
Yeah, that's not
right. I remember senior pranks were such a big thing. They had its own show on MTV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on after Scarred.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember next. Could you imagine next, like nowadays?
Oh, Room Raiders?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God, Room Raiders? Core memory unlocked. Some of the nastiest like people. There was just too much room for interpretation with some of those people.
way too much. So
like, why is that in your room? But, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know, but apparently these people have never watched a horror movie in their lives, because as soon as we were going down a gravel driveway, I'm like, you're gonna get Jeepers Creepers, man. Like,
bro, that's the first thing I thought. But I feel like that old man was like, you're way out of pocket for that. Just some toilet paper rolls. Come on.
It doesn't seem crazy to me, but I also grew up in inner city Cleveland.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So, like, you walked on the wrong front yard, someone would point a gun out their window at you.
Yeah.
So it's more or less an unfazed thing, but, like, me and my friends would have jumped that old man. I know we would have.
Or the whole, like, telling your parents that you were spending the night at somebody's house when you were really, like, dying in the middle of the cornfield somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, like, from like 13 to 18, that's all I did.
Core
to the point where, like, I didn't have to tell my parents anymore. They actually go to sleep at a friend's house and they're like, all right, buddy, be good. There I am, eating Adderalls, having the time of my life.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, I literally lived with a dude for a whole month in the summer right before my senior year started. I don't know how the fuck I got away with that. I literally told my mom I was at my friend Erica's house for a whole goddamn month and I was just posted up with some dude. Like,
wild things. Okay, Kylie, what's your last story?
okay, this is from Creepy Encounters. This isn't very long, so we can get out of here at a decent time. From you/Lilith Jenny. Weird girl that tried to get me back to her hotel room with her dad.
Been there.
This happened to me.
I like the Grateful Dead. Takes you to weird places.
This happened to me about 2.5 years ago. It was October, almost Halloween, and my husband and I were out seeing one of our favorite bands with another couple. Huge, well-known metropolitan area. We were completely wasted, drinking screwdrivers and shots of Jack Fire. Jack Daniels? Or is it? Never mind. Our friend we were with went to go refill our drinks, and when he came back, he had a girl with him who looked to be around our age. In reality, she could have been anywhere from 18 to 28. He tells us that this girl had lost her dad, and she wants us to help her find him. We were so drunk and just having an awesome time, so we told her, we can't really help you look for your dad, but you could stand here with us until you find him, or he finds you, or whatever. No big deal at this point. So the girl stands with me the whole time, and we're holding on to each other and dancing. We both know every word to every song, and it was actually just an amazing time. So fast forward a couple songs, this is when things start getting weird. She starts begging me to come back to her hotel with her and her dad. She says stuff like, I promise it's not weird. It's not going to be creepy. I swear we're not the cops. And just overall weird shit like that. She would not shut up about this. She wanted me to come back with her and her dad so bad. I can't really remember everything she said because, like I said, I was inebriated. But what I'll never forget is the most creepy, weird feeling that washed over me when she was saying all this to me. My husband wasn't paying much attention, so he didn't hear what she was saying. For some unknown reason, that friend we came with, who was married to the guy that brought this crazy girl to us in the first place, turned around and starts cussing the shit out of the crazy girl. I don't remember what she was saying, but it was along the lines of, you need to fuck off. And at that moment, I turned to my husband and said, this bitch is creeping me out. Let's lose her. So we ran away to the lobby area. I was so scared she was going to find us or track us down or something. I always just got the most weird feeling when I think about that night. That girl wanted something from me, but I don't know what it was. It could have been she just was having a good time with me and wanted it to continue after the show. Her being there with her dad, though, is what made it so weird for me for some reason. I got the vibe that they could have just been human traffickers or in a cult or something sinister. The fact that I was so drunk and my spidey senses still went off like they did, that's why I can't shake the feeling. I could have been in some kind of creepy danger that night. Bro, that is a straight up fucking, like, human trafficking setup right there.
I don't think so. I don't think if you're trying to human traffic someone, that's the line. I mean, you can have a better excuse to get into the hotel.
I think
that girl was spun. She was on a lot of drugs, it sounds like.
Well, it also could be too, like, a whole, like, I just want to experiment, like, kind
Tell
of
us
thing.
what band. If we knew what band they were seeing, I feel like that would change the whole
I feel like
situation.
that would change. I agree.
Yeah, it would definitely depend on the band and the vibe, because, like, I could say, okay, don't come for me, fans, okay? If this was a Sleep Token concert, they're just being horny, okay? They're just being horny because I've seen some people do some strange things for those band members and do strange things to each other afterwards. No offense. I get it. He's a sexy man. But like Grateful Dead or like a cover band or something.
Like, if they told me they were seeing the Grateful Dead, I wouldn't think that situation was weird at all.
Yeah,
you know how many times I've went back and partied with people's parents?
Or, if it's
I mean,
something,
valid. Because same.
Or like a hair band. Like if it's like an
Yeah.
80s band, and I would be like, okay, so, but
Yeah, we don't know. Her dad could have been a cool fucking dude. He might have been more fun to hang out with.
he
That's
really
valid.
could have.
I think it's more. This one's more of like a perception situation.
Yeah, I do think if you
I met Brewster when I was drunk, and I thought he was gay and had a crush on me for like 3 months. It's all about perception. He's in love with me, I know now.
Yeah, really, he is.
But I really did think he was a gay man.
I had to put them in a
I was so
corner today.
humbled. I was like, this is beautiful.
I had to put them in a corner today. I'm like, listen, if we talk about another goddamn body member in this chat, I'm going to gouge my fucking eyes out. But I mean, it just depends on the person, but I would definitely say, like, even if it probably wasn't nefarious, if you got a weird feeling, I'd always say, like, follow the weird feeling. Because
yeah, but she could have been saying it was her dad to bring in that calm feeling, like, it's my dad, it's cool, and it really been a human trafficker or a fuck-ass boyfriend. Shit, it could have been a fucking piece of shit woman, too, because women are in on that shit, too.
This is why we just need the name of the band.
Yeah. If you're out there...
I'm not seeing a name, unfortunately.
If you're out there...
Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Because this is not the first... is when we had Rick on for those Reddit episodes, and I had picked a story of a woman who was dating this dude.
Yeah,
but she used to date a band member from this certain band, and it was a very popular metal band, but she wouldn't say what the name of the fucking band was.
Yeah. I mean, anonymity, obviously, you don't know with certain things, but in this case, it would give us a lot of context, because if you're telling me that you went to like a 30 Seconds to Mars concert and somebody did that, I might be a little like,
okay. Or how do you know the girl wasn't joking? Because like in my generation, it's like a weird sign of respect when you got like an older friend to joke around. Like, I'll do it to Rick. We'll be in public, and I'm like, "Yeah, this is actually my dad."
Yeah, that could have
been a weird older friend with an uncomfortable nickname.
Yeah,
it could have been her sugar daddy.
Yeah, I'll go party with someone's sugar daddy, and you could possibly leave with a sugar daddy. It's a win-win.
I mean, happy Halloween! Somebody's getting
spirit of the season.
It's a good time for all. So we're concluding with a little bit of a long. It's not crazy long, but I haven't read this
fuckery?
One. It's some street fuckery. So
God damn it, Cassandra.
This is best Redditor updates. This is user.
We almost got away with
not an episode with best Redditor.
Well, no. Just the certain levels of fuckery that we come across on Reddit. We almost had like a normal Reddit episode.
I mean, we still have time to pull it out of the bag. Let's see. Anybody who's had a significant other dated, this will kind of be something that maybe you've encountered. But am I the asshole for kicking my BFFs, my boyfriend's girl best friend out of my Halloween party because of her costume? So, this is the person that posted this on Best Redditor Updates is not the original poster. The original poster is Crying to T Swift. This was originally posted. Yeah, right. This was originally posted October 30th of 2022. So, hi everyone. I'll cut to the chase. I, 19 female, had a Halloween party over the weekend. I invited my boyfriend, 21 male, and a bunch of our friends over, including his girl best friend. I'll call her Agatha. My boyfriend and I decided to dress up as Peter Pumpkin Eater. If you haven't seen the costume, the guy wears a shirt that says Peter, and the girl dresses as a pumpkin because, well, you know. I was pretty excited because I thought it was a funny and cute costume. Agatha texted me the night before the party and asked what my costume was going to be. I explained the couple's costume my boyfriend and I would be wearing, and she replied she would probably just come as a sexy cat. Fast forward to the night of the party.
Shocker.
Right.
Red flag right there.
Right
Don't trust
there.
a sexy cat on Halloween.
Right there.
Yep.
But fast forward to the night of the party, everyone is having fun. It's a nice time. Well, it was until Agatha walked in as, you guessed it, a pumpkin. She went over and hugged my boyfriend. I swear the room went silent. I was pissed. I asked if I could speak with her privately. We went into my bedroom, and I asked why she chose that costume since she knew the details of the joint costume between my boyfriend and I. She said she didn't see the big deal and thought it would be a better group costume. I told her I didn't think it was funny, and I would prefer if she changed. I offered her a witch costume she could borrow for the night. She turned red and started to yell, I don't get to control what she wears. I told her that she was disrespecting my relationship by insinuating that my boyfriend and her have sex. She kept screaming about how it was funny and I needed to lighten up. I ended up asking her to leave. She stormed out of the house and I returned to the party. The mood had shifted and the night felt ruined. My boyfriend agrees that she crossed the line and is planning on cutting her off completely. But a few of our friends are saying I was being dramatic and I should have let her stay. I guess I'm just wondering, am I the asshole? So
No. It's one thing to be trying to match up with a couple's costume, but like a sexually like intimate type of like Halloween costume, no. Get the fuck out of my house.
Okay. So follow me on this. I think there have been some red flags that this girl
This
has
isn't
probably.
this isn't the first fucking red flag.
This is probably the first time that something like this has happened, but there has to be some more context behind this. And we're going to post all the links to these. There are some like relevant comments. Somebody does ask them if they have a sexual history, if they've ever dated. She says no. But
you can't trust a woman in cat ears in October.
Well, and again, it's just the context because I would say, okay, for reference, if Tiki was having a Halloween party and Jim and I dress up as a couple and one of those fuckers decide to be ridiculous and join in on the group content, like I could see
that's different.
I could see Brewster like pulling again.
Guys, it's funny.
It's guys, it's funny. But like, say for instance, Christina wanted to fuck with me, and she was like, Cass is being one of the Hex girls. I'm gonna be one of the Hex girls with her because it's kind of. I wouldn't think anything of it because I love Christina. I wouldn't think that she's trying to do anything malicious, right? But if this is somebody that you already kind of have a weird vibe with, I wouldn't think anything like of it. So I feel like there has to be some things possibly going on to make her feel like, I mean, of course, too, she picked a costume that insinuates like a sexual act. So that kind of obviously takes it a different act away.
That's just when it takes it completely like that is a completely inappropriate.
Like
burn the bitch at the stake, man. Fucker. Feather her ass.
Fucking fucker.
An update in the comments as of November 17th. He is no longer friends with her. She showed her true colors and they are no longer speaking. So then there's an update in February 21st of 2023. Well, I have an update. I meant to post this one a few months ago, but I really needed time to process the events that occurred after this whole ordeal. I'm glad I waited though, because you all need to hear this one. Many people pointed out that my boyfriend must be sleeping with Agatha since she went absolutely bonkers for no reason. I thought since he immediately took my side and blocked her on everything, that you were wrong. Well, it turns out it was me who was wrong. It turns out that Agatha and my boyfriend have been sleeping together for months. And they were just really good at hiding it until she decided she didn't want to be his mistress anymore. I found this out while I was at his house hanging out in his room. He was showering after a workout and I heard this vibrating noise. He had taken his phone and mine was right next to me, so I couldn't figure out what it was. I opened his bedside table drawer and found a second phone. My gut told me that something wasn't right. Why would he have a second phone? It didn't take me long to guess his password. 1234, really? And my fears were confirmed. There was a missed call from Agatha. I looked through the messages and found out the truth. Not only had they been sleeping together, but she recently found out she was pregnant. This was the reason she pulled the stunt on Halloween. She was trying to force his hand. I also saw that he was messaging other girls as well. I was completely devastated. After his shower, he found me grabbing all of my belongings and putting them in my bag. He asked why I was leaving, and I told him because we were finished. I threw his phone on the bed. He looked at me like he was going to vomit. He started pleading with me to hear him out, but I didn't want to hear him. He could have all of those girls. I didn't want him anymore. He followed me out of the house, shaking and crying. He even followed me all the way out to my car, trying to block my path. I went over the grass around him and didn't look back. He sent me a long text message about how he never wanted to hurt me, that he wanted me back, and how he was using his work phone to text all of these women so I wouldn't find out. That was really helpful. I sent his boss a nice little message about how company property was being misused, and I saw on LinkedIn he no longer works for that company anymore. He's blocked on everything now. I hope him and Agatha have a magical life with their baby. Oh, I heard through the grapevine that he got another woman pregnant as well. Glad I dodged that bullet. As for me, I'm currently in therapy working on my trust issues and learning how to love myself again after this situation. I have been putting myself out there again and have cut contact with anyone who knew what was happening behind my back. Thank you for all the love and support.
He really was double pumpkin eating, huh?
He really was.
I mean, maybe her costume wasn't that bad then.
He was going after the whole fucking patch.
Maybe she was trying to drop subtle hints.
Yeah.
And, bro, like, and multiple girls, and you got another one pregnant. Get the fuck out of here.
2 women pregnant at the same time.
Fucking stop, Nick Cannon.
Yeah. Yeah. So, she did get an STD check. She was negative,
good.
Thankfully.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, listen, if you're a dude out there, don't let another bitch get in your group costume. Just saying.
Or don't cheat on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be a whore? Be a whore. Don't be in a committed relationship, and also don't be in a situationship, and also don't lead women on emotionally. If you just want to put your dick in a woman, that's fine. Be upfront. Wear a condom. Ask if she's on birth control.
So sometimes you got to do things to pay your rent, but besides like that, treat women good, you know.
Yeah. And just a PSA for people. Let's think outside the box a little with the costumes. Okay. Yeah.
If you're gonna cheat, do it by carrier pigeon. They'll never find the pigeon.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna
they don't vibrate.
At least pick a costume that makes it less conspicuous, like Nick Cannon.
Yeah. I don't think you should dress as Nick Cannon, depending on who you are. But yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, something. Just wear your own costume. If you're don't cheat. don't get caught up by a Halloween costume. And certainly, you better watch out because the Trick or Treat sequel is going to be coming out sometime in the next couple of years.
One day.
And like, at least Homeboy that found his wife like strung up by Sam, at least he had the respect to not cheat on his wife and wear the matching costume and not let any other bitches around it. He might not have helped his wife. I mean, he was trying to tell her, like, leave the pumpkins out. She kind of brought it on herself. But be a robot. So that's the solid advice. So Reddit. People stop doing fuck shit on Halloween. Like, it's okay to have good old fashioned fun, but like, let's put some respect in the game. Y'all act like you've never seen Trick or Treat in your life before and knows that Sam's like got you in the crosshairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the opposite opinion. Halloween's the one night of the year where you get to do fuck shit in costume. So take advantage of that. Like, obviously don't cheat on your old lady and, use olive oil on your wiener and stuff. But, TPing's cool. Do that.
It's a rite of passage.
TP's fine. If you guys want to do the opposite and do the whole, like, couples, like, scream, running, chasing each other in the woods, shit like that, go for it. It's Halloween. Have a good old time. Just don't be weird. Like, don't be weird, like, cheating weird, or be that weird girl that's cheating on, being a mistress. Just don't.
Yeah.
And if you see any sexy cats, maybe question it first. Okay?
Avoid the cat women in October. Nothing good comes out of it.
Nothing good comes out of it. You might end up sacrificed. And listen, if that's your thing, then just let us know. Okay? If that's where you want to be, we'll respect it. But just watch out. So, and stop giving black cats such a bad reputation. Black cats haven't done shit to nobody. Like, seriously.
Valid.
So let's leave the cats alone. But yeah, Reddit.
We love you. We hate you.
Peter Pumpkin Eater. So really quickly, before we bounce out, we're really quickly going to talk about our things in horror this week. Mine actually directly correlates to Tiki being here because Tiki and I had talked about weapons. He kind of told me, like, hey, just go in with an open mind, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I saw Weapons this weekend, and I actually really enjoyed it. So
don't lie, though. They spoiled the movie right in the beginning. They tell you the whole plot in the movie within the first 10 minutes if you pay attention.
If you pay attention, but I really... honestly,
if you haven't seen it, not spoilers, kind of spoilers, the whole movie's literally written on the side of a car. 10 minutes into the movie, they write what the whole movie's about on the side of the car.
Yeah, see, I didn't pay attention to that, but I will.
Seen it yet.
Yeah, I will say I definitely enjoyed it. I think a lot of people who didn't enjoy it, they expected it. Tiki and I had this conversation. I think they expected it to be Barbarian. It's a lot different than that.
I love Barbarian.
And Barbarian's great, but this is definitely, if you're thinking that this is going to be like a complex movie, it is complex in the fact that it's got different storylines going on, but it's actually very, like, simple at its core.
One of the best druggy characters ever in movie history, though, is in Weapons.
Yes.
The kid that they had play the...
Oh! Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He was great, and I think they do a great thing with a lot of characters in it. And I think it really kind of made me actually excited because I know that he's come under fire recently because he's heading up the next Resident Evil remake, and I think he's going to do a great job. So I feel like, listen, just don't watch the trailers. If you're excited about a movie, just skip the trailer. Skip the trailer, go in with it, and I feel like you'll have a good time because I kind of just let that all go out of my mind. I went in it thinking, you know what, this is going to be a good movie with Josh Brolin in it, and I enjoyed that experience. So, great performances by everybody. I think it's an incredible. So definitely go watch it. I will say the opposite of that though. Anybody that's saying that this is the movie of the year instead of Sinners is on. No, I wouldn't say that. Sinners is still my movie of the year.
Oh, Sinners blows my mind every time. I just remember someone who's going to be on the Halloween special. The VHS werewolf just made me a custom VHS of Sinners.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah, I ordered that and I made him put every Halloween episode of Roseanne on a tape for me.
hell yeah!
Bro, Roseanne's Halloween episodes were so fucking top tier.
Iconic, the best ones. I watch them every year. I can't miss them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same.
I think I love that though, and I will say Weapons was good, but Sinners is just in a league of its own. So please don't listen. If somebody's hyping it up like that, go in, make your own opinions, and just enjoy it for what it is. It's a good, solid horror movie. I think it's good in a lot of different aspects, but I think just the expectations that get put on a lot of different movies when they're good kind of does it disservice. So don't go in thinking that. So, Kylie, what about you?
I got a couple things. I just recently watched a movie called Before the Sightings. It's found footage. It's about the strange clown appearances that happened in 2016.
Hell
It was a pretty solid found footage movie. I really enjoyed it, and it got me. I'm on a deep dive for more good found footage. Let me know, people, what your favorite found footage horror movies are.
I'll send
Maybe.
some crazy Rex in the group later. I love found footage too, so
I fucking love it. I just do. I got my bracelets from the sweet Jen and Marcel from the Hell House Fanatics group.
Woo-hoo!
Mine says, "Oh Hector," and this one says, "Sleep sweet." And I'm just very happy. I have Hell House bracelets. What else have I done just for what? Yeah. I'm excited for Tiki's Halloween special.
Yeah.
I love the summer one. I'm very excited for the Halloween one.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of cool shit in this one. So, and when I'm not working off like a main theme, like the summer one was fun. It's a little bit more challenging. When you go to Halloween, I have an ability to go a little bit more insane. We had a Christmas one time. It's not on the internet anymore, but yeah,
we did at one point in time. But yeah, well, and you shared. No, it was Cody that did it, but we all talked about it. The Bride trailer dropped today. That looks pretty good.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty cool idea. Like, let's be honest. Like,
it's an old school gangster vibe with fucking Frankenstein and his bride.
And it kind of makes
Christian
sense.
Bale. Like, shut the fuck up and like it. Take it and like it.
I feel like it's the least crazy thing that we've heard in the horror genre.
Like getting a fucking Grave Encounters reboot with Justin Long that he's going to be a part of. I'm just fucking... I am enraged. Okay? I am. And I don't give a fuck. We don't need it.
Yeah.
And I don't like Justin Long. We don't need it. We do not need a big name or anything attached to this movie. We don't need a reboot. Fuck off.
Damn. It takes a lot for Kylie to get like that too. So,
bro, I had to get out of Dave's live because I was that pissed because I was just talking about it.
I know.
I don't know. I'm just real tired of horror content creators and horror fans glorifying and gassing up some of these fucking movies when there's just like gold in the indie horror genre that people just fucking drag through the mud, and I'm fucking tired of it.
I hinted at it earlier, but like I said, I'll never be a talking head on the internet, and it's because there's a weird thing. Like now, especially Cass ran my Instagram when I first started. I
Yeah.
wasn't on the Instagram, but now I'm pretty very active on there, and none of these dudes ever tell you a movie's bad. Like the more I watch these people, it's so hard to find a genuine opinion on a movie. And it's such cookie cutter content.
Yeah, I feel like you have too many people that either won't say a movie's bad, or they won't give you or they'll just trash everything. I think there's a way that you could say like, hey, this movie was not good. These are the things that I feel like are probably better highlights of it. These are the things I think are great about it. But you just have too many people going one way or another. And I feel like you need people that are just going to give you an authentic, like actually how they feel without shitting on something absolutely completely. I think there are times where you can do that when something is so fucking audacious. But there are a lot of movies that they weren't the greatest. And they weren't the greatest because they didn't have a lot of different things going on for it. Or there were a lot of forces that got played with it, different things. Like we all know, like especially with 80s and 90s movies, the cuts and how many different cuts there are because the movies got chopped apart. Notoriously, like Nightbreed was a big one that revolves around. But I just feel like there are ways to go about it. And also, if the only thing that you can do is review something, you cannot hold horror content creation in other ways, then that is kind of telling. And I think it's because horror has become such a buzz thing that it's sucked out all the fun for the people that this has literally been their bread and butter since birth. And like,
yeah, and I'm not going to review a movie that I don't like. I'm not doing it.
Or go in with the intention to do it.
I hopped on so many people's channels to review the new Toxic Avenger so I can personally shit on it. But that's it. It's the only time I've ever done it.
Yeah, but I can understand from your standpoint because, like you were saying,
you're a huge fan.
You're a huge fan. You know a lot of the people associated with the original now because of TerraCon. But you went in giving it a chance. And
I barely gave it a chance, to be honest. It could have been the greatest movie ever, and I wouldn't have liked it. Right. I want to gatekeep it. I'll be 100% honest.
I mean, but you're allowed to feel that way. I get it.
Fuck Peter Dinklage. You know how many hard-working little people he's taken jobs from? A lot. Peter Dinklage is a fucking monster.
I mean...
Well, he ends up on Dexter's table in Dexter Resurrection. Well... But he was a low-key billionaire fuck-ass in Resurrection. A lot of people loved his character. I didn't.
See, I feel like a big part of it, though, is it's just because a lot of people are joining on the... And I'm not saying that we need to discourage new fans and different things like that in horror, because we all want to share it. But I feel like we're just not getting people that appreciate it and aren't authentic in it. And that is the problem. And you have too many people that are out here actually practicing what they're preaching and trying to do things in this community that if the people that are getting highlighted are the ones that are not, then we need to start kind of looking at that system and wonder to ourselves, why is that happening?
It's less of a creativity is a dying thing. I say it all the time with the concept of AI. I had a huge argument. Someone hit me up there. I use AI to show my artists the art I want them to make me, and I was like, "That's you're taking the fucking job away from the artist. It doesn't make sense." It's like, as someone who makes art, I do oil paintings. I do a lot of shit. It's not just video editing. If you send me a picture of something from AI and say, I want you to make this, but not AI, not going to do that. That doesn't make much sense. And it's just cookie cutter content. And I believe, this isn't me shitting on the horror community. It's more me shitting on the lack of artistry that I believe a lot of people have. Like, the Instagram, there's so many pages that follow me. And I'm sure they make really quality content that's fun to watch. But your pictures AI, your descriptions are typed with all chat GBT. There's an obvious thing you can realize where it's a lack of personality and personal belief. The good thing about art and like 80s horror and why everyone loves them is because all those directors put their own touch and artistic vision into them. And now everything's so copy and paste. So if you do find cool content creators like Cass and Kylee and a whole bunch of other ones, VHS Werewolf that I mentioned earlier makes awesome content. I like Dread Central, very great guys. They'll be a part of the special. Josh from Josh's Hoarder Corner, he's doing fucking insane funky edits now.
Mm-hmm.
Check those people out because they put a lot more love into them because they know that it's not going to get views no matter what. And I think that's where like the spirit of art needs to come back a little bit. So yeah, sorry for the rant. I'll never be a talking head on the internet.
No, I think you brought it up great because I that's for us, we joined the Hell Zone over the summer. And I think a big part of that and the reason that it's worked out as well as it is because Day knows what he's doing. He knows Kylie's strength. He knows my strengths. He knows how to pair people. And he's just more about like, what do you want to do? Not, I want you to do this. It's more, hey, what do you want to do? And hey, I know this person's really great at this particular thing. Let them go ahead and rip and talk about it. So I could talk about crazy things that are not relevant now and movies that had just lived in rent free in my head since, young Cass. And he's cool with it. But I feel like that is becoming a dying breed. And I think it's different. If you're using chat GBT in some capacity with social media, totally understand that.
It's a tool. If you use it as a tool, it works. If you use it as a brain, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's more or less like if you're doing everything and it's you using it as a tool and it's helping you out, I understand that. But if it's where it's making everything for you, that's the problem that I have. And the problem that I have is when you have a lot of content creators that get certain interviews, have time to actually go in and prepare, and instead of preparing, go through chat GBT. But then you have smaller creators like us, like for Hell House Month, going through all of those entries meticulously, going through people's podcasts that they did with other podcasters, going through different things that they've talked about, like meticulously going in that. When we first started this, Brittany and I were on fucking crack and decided that we were going to do like 20, 30 movies in one fucking episode and talk about all of them. We would literally watch all of those fucking movies. And I mean, it was like tail end of COVID. So like nobody was really fucking doing anything. But like we would have weeks where we're just preparing for episodes. So when you're losing that effect, that's where I'm like, you're not buying into what we are selling. So I feel like that is exactly where we're getting at. So you heard some of our frustration. This kind of tracks with things that we've talked about more recently. So, but definitely go show people support. We'll also have some creators down below that we love as well. And the Hell House group has never let us down. So go check out the Hell House group and Jen and Marcel. Go ahead.
And if you feel like anything I said is like, wow, he might be talking about me, reach out and I will probably fix it for you for free. There's a reason we put media in the talking tapes now. I produce if you've seen an intro, I've produced them for like 20 podcasts now. I'm your favorite podcaster's hidden producer. So
Yes.
hit me up. Let's make your channel cool. Let's add some artistic flair. And then when you're a talking head on the internet, you don't look like a fool. You know, you look cool. Let's fucking help the community by letting me help you guys, you know?
Yeah.
I like doing it. It's fun.
Yeah, I think, you know, with us working with you, like everything that was in Kylee and I's head when we were thinking about this, and even the Spooky Moms intro, you tapped into it. And like, you were about to play our outro in a second. You did our outro without us, like, even really, because you had already kind of had our blueprint of what you knew that we liked. So if you cannot create that, find somebody that will do it, collaborate with them, because that's how we build up community versus taking the other approach.
But man, if you're listening to this, shoot me a message. Tell me you heard me on the Horrorcraft podcast. First, like 4 people that message me, I'll make them a free intro.
You heard it here first. So
get with him.
Get with him. Get with him and support your people, because there are a lot of people that you know, have made this channel what it is. All the people at Hell Zone, you'll see their handles in our description down below. You'll always see Tiki's stuff tagged in every episode that we do, where you could find him. Justin, Techno Wizard, that does some producing on here, has helped us with doing some of our bigger, like producing some of our bigger celebrity interviews. There is a lot that goes behind it, and there are a lot of people that are willing to chip in together. That's how we build everything back up. It's not by doing this where we're sectioning the community. So in the spirit of Halloween, let's all come together and let's just make some really cool fucking shit and have the best fucking spooky season possible. So on that note, we're going to get the fuck out of here, as Day would
Let's
say.
fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
So
sleepy.
Yes. So until next time, it's me, Cass.
Kylee.
And
Tiki.
And we are out. Bye.
Bye.